Paul. Yes. It's 6:15. I'm just waiting for somebody to stop messing with my phone. Now, I wanted to make mention, yes, that there seems to be some difficulty with the understanding of the laws of the United States. Now, does anybody in the sheriff's department know how you are able to dissolve a marriage? Yes. Because I went online and I did a little research, and I don't see that there's any marriage certificate, application, or license for marriage, yes, having been issued anywhere in the United States for Paul C. Budnick right now, or Heidi Lee Budnick. Poop. Now, I sent you some emails about forgery, fraud, and felony. And today I emailed about 200 additional attorneys. Yeah. And I had the availability of going to the clothing closet. Yes. So I could get some new used shoes. Yes. Now, I'm sure that for every person in law enforcement that thinks, well, we did know that his shoes were falling apart because I told you that. And then I get to go to the clothing closet so that I can try and find a used pair of shoes. Yes. So that I can walk up here to the library. Now you can appreciate, yes, my want to have you sued and put in prison. Because in your minds, yeah, you've kept yourselves out of prison for the last 8 years, knowing of the fraud that you've been involved with. Now, I put a lot of documents on the war crimes drive. Yes. But I wanted to mention that when I was walking back from the clothing bank after having gotten these really nice used shoes, yes, and carrying around in my backpack, yes, same backpack that I've been carrying for the last 3 years, yes, the old shoes with the thought, well, maybe I'll find some liquid nails or some shoe goo, yes, and I thought for sure, you know what, I'm gonna have a real whopper of a lawsuit. Because every time you obligate me to have to go to charity, I start thinking of ways of suing you. Yes. Now, what happened was, yes, I'm walking up here. I left the senior center early. Yes, we did. Emailed a couple hundred additional attorneys from Rhode Island. Yes, I'm not quite done with Delaware right now. But I found out about some international attorneys and I emailed those up to the letter or the word Estonia. Now, while walking up here in approximately 85-degree weather, I decided, well, what am I fucking seeing right now? And then you know what happened? I was, well, pleasantly surprised, yes, that the Genealogical Society of Clallam County had their door open. Now, mm, so I go in there because I had gone in there, well, probably 3, 4 years ago. Asking about Clara Rose Holz and the Holz family. And we were able to find the obituary of my deceased great grandmother, Berna. Now, Berna D. Holz, day of death of February 4th of 1975. Yes, I would have been approximately 4.5 years old. And I remember going to my grandmother's house because my grandfather, Elmer, he died before I was born. Nah, yes, he did. Oh. Now, I'm there working with the volunteers, trying to find out a little information about exactly where they lived. Yes, because Elmer, yes, he was a self-employed dairy rancher. He was a dairy rancher. Now, that kind of implies that he had various types of cattle. Yes, he did. Or he had cattle that produce milk. Yes, he does. And that he had milked cows most of his life because he was self-employed. Just looking, yes, at the information that I was able to get, because I'm going to scan this in and I'm going to sue you for this. He's going to sue us. See, my great grandfather, Elmer P. Holtz, had funeral services, yes, at 75 years of age, and he died in Port Angeles on Friday. Now, the funeral was held at Harper Funeral Home Monday at 2 p.m., and he's been buried at Mount Angeles Memorial Park. Now, the Reverend Lloyd Doty will officiate. Poop. Now, Mr. Holtz was born May 27th, 1893, in Nebraska, and he married the former Verna D. Spencer, February 12th of 1914. They were married in 1914. Yes. Now he came to Port Angeles in 1925, but returned to Nebraska after several months. Yes. Then he moved back to Port Angeles in 1932. Now, I'm kind of wondering, yes, when he was married in 1914, yeah, born in 1893, that means that he was approximately 21 years old at the time of their marriage. Yes, he was. And then he moved out here in 1925. Yes, that would have made him 32 years old. Oh, and then 1932 to 18, he would have been 39 years old when he himself and his children moved to Port Angeles. Now, somehow, yes, I'm thinking that this sheriff's department right now is really fucking me over. I mean, really, really bad. Now, when I think about all the old timers in Clallam County that must have had some knowledge of Elmer and Verna Holtz, yes, I began to really question what this county has been about. Hey. Now, he had sons, yes, Ralph, Ray, Laverne, Elmer, Ralph and Raymond of Port Angeles. Yes, wasn't just Ray. Ralph did live here too. Yes, he did. Laverne and his son Elmer of Seattle. But you know what really upset me? No. I found out that the local newspaper had misspelled my name. No, no, no. See, he is also survived by daughter, Clara Budnick. Oh, it is not spelled Budnik. No, it's spelled Budnik. Now, this county has intentionally misspelled my